TV Fox 17. And now your host, Dr. James Haney.
Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is Coach Frankie Allen of the Tennessee State University basketball program. And we're fortunate to have with us Coach Allen to talk about the Tennessee State University basketball program and the fact that Tennessee State University is the OVC champ in men's basketball for the 1993 season. Welcome to the show this morning, Coach.
Well, thank you, Dr. Haney, for having me as your guest. Yeah, we were very fortunate last year to capture the first OVC championship, and then we were participating in the NCAA, and it was the first time that Tennessee State University had represented the Ohio Valley Conference in the NCAA, and it was the first ever conference championship in any sport since Tennessee State has been in the Ohio Valley Conference. We're quite proud of that accomplishment.
Very good. And, Coach, of course, we certainly will talk about the basketball program and a number of other things this morning. But I can't forget that it was about this time that you made your first appearance on our show. And I think it was at that point that we predicted that Tennessee State University would win the OVC and whatnot. And we talked about that. And we hope that that was a good omen. And you might be prepared to do that through a repeat. But first, let's talk about Coach Frankie Allen and give our audience some information about your background and education and some of the things that were important in your life leading you to become coach of the Tennessee State University men's basketball program.
Well, I've always enjoyed athletics. I'm originally from Virginia. I was born and raised in Charlottesville, Virginia, which is in the central part of the state. I've been home to visit my mother quite often, so it's about a 9-hour drive from Nashville. You know, my parents, like most parents, you know, they try to instill certain values in their children, and I was very fortunate, I think, in some respects, because I was the youngest, and so I had the benefit of I guess, of maybe getting a little bit more sometimes in terms of opportunities. But I was the youngest of three. I have an older brother and sister that still live in Charlottesville. And, you know, I grew up there, played high school basketball at Old Lane High School, for any Charlottesvillians looking in this morning. And we were fortunate to win back-to-back conference championships as when I was a player there. But I really felt that those experiences that I had were very instrumental. I think one of the big keys, both my mother and my father, they were both just hard-working people that, you know, try to get their children to do the best and make the most of first opportunities. And I was the first one in my family, being the youngest, that had an opportunity to go to college, and that was provided by an athletic scholarship to a small school also in the state of Virginia, Roanoke College. I enjoyed quite a bit of success there. We won conference championships, went to the NCAA Division II championships. You know, had an outstanding career there. Was the all-time leading scorer and rebounder at Roanoke College, and those records still prevail today. Also the all-time leading scorer in the state of Virginia for all of college basketball. So, you know, I had some great success there, and I really appreciate the fact that, like I said, my parents were able to instill in me the value of making the most of your first opportunities. And I think those things opened a lot of doors for me. I went from there with a BA degree in philosophy. I worked toward a master's degree in athletic administration at Virginia Tech, where I coached for 15 years. I was an assistant coach at Virginia Tech for 11 years. Our teams enjoyed great success. The last 4 years of that 15-year stint, I was the head coach, where I was Metro Conference Coach of the Year, and enjoyed a great deal of success, having coached 2 players that are now playing in the professional ranks. And then after that, I was called upon by Dr. Hefner, who's the president at Tennessee State University, as you well know, and he wanted to upgrade his basketball program. I thought the situation here was very inviting, very intriguing. The possibilities to be good were all here, and the support from the president right down through the athletic administration made this a very attractive job. So, you know, I moved to Nashville a couple of years ago, and of course we've had some outstanding success this past year. Our first year we built with our recruiting. I had an outstanding staff of assistant coaches, Ricardo Patton, who's since left me and moved on to another school, Gary White, who's since left me and moved on to another school, Coach Greg O'Brien, who's still with me, and I've added another assistant coach this year, a young man by the name of Charles Ramsey, and we're trying to carry on the tradition of Tennessee State basketball that was once a very proud and a very rich tradition. Fell on some hard times, but I think we've rekindled the spirit, the enthusiasm, and we're looking forward to another successful year with our basketball program at Tennessee State University.
And of course, Coach, I think you've been picked #1 by the media to repeat your success of last year. And we all look forward to seeing you do that. But let's look at that successful OVC team. I mean, what can you tell us, the audience, about that team? Nobody certainly expected you when the season started to end up as the OVC champs and then to go to the NCAA. What can you say about that team?
Well, I think it was just that championship was won the old-fashioned way with a lot of hard work. As a team motto, we have as our team motto, and we've had that since I've been the head coach, there's no substitute for hard work. I may say to the players anytime we're breaking the huddle after a timeout or doing our practice sessions, there's no substitute for, and they'll always respond, hard work. And I think we instilled some good work habits in those young men. True, we had some very talented players, but we played so well together. There have been a lot of teams that were more talented, I thought, that we played last year, but I don't think any team blended its talents and utilized its talents as well as we did. The team chemistry last year was just outstanding. I certainly hope that we can recapture that same spirit and team unity that we had last year, because those were the things that really helped us win the championship. I told the players on many occasions during the season when we were winning and we were kind of basking in the glory and the media was calling us Cinderella and all those good things. I told them on many occasions, I said, I'm really proud of the fact that we've won, but I'm even more proud of the fact is the way we win. We do it with style, we do it with dignity, we do it with class. And I think we made everybody last year that was connected with Tennessee State University very proud of this basketball team and its program, because I thought we represented ourselves and the university in the way and manner that the university had been accustomed to for so many years.
When you think about support, that's a very, very important ingredient. I recall you talking about it the last time you were with us. What kind of support do you think that you're finding and that you found last year, and what kind of support do you anticipate dealing with this team?
Well, the support has been tremendous, like I said, from the university to the community to just our fans, our student body. They've all rallied behind our basketball program. When I talk to people in the community that had been long-time fans of Tennessee State University, they said to me, Coach, we were just waiting for something to cheer about. You've restored our pride, and those kind of things make you feel good as a coach, that not only are you reaching out and touching your players, but you're reaching out and touching the community. And in some way, shape, or form, maybe we're giving hope to a community of people that look for something to hope for and to hang on to. And I think a lot of times as coaches, we don't realize the importance that our overall program or what success will do for the overall program or for the overall university. And the support has been tremendous, and I really feel that it will continue. Our season ticket sales are up. They're still available over at the ticket office. Mr. Carl Pillow, we've got, some great home games. We've got a brand new floor last year that we played on, that we were undefeated on that floor. The Gentry Center is a showplace. I mean, we've had people now that have worked extremely hard, to get the building to look like a building of old, where, you had people coming in and being able to find the correct seats. The entire building has been repainted, and it really looks good over there. And it's been a lot of hard work and a lot of effort from a lot of people, and the building and the grounds crew, to people like Gerald McRae, who's in charge of the Gentry Center. They've taken pride in doing those things. So when you see that product of a basketball team out there on the floor, Dr. Haney, there's a lot of things that go in, that are involved in it. There's been a lot of people, so quote-unquote, behind the scenes that have done a tremendous job of supporting this basketball team and supporting this basketball program. And I just want to say, to the people in the Nashville community, come out and support this team. Yeah, well, last year we were Cinderella, but I think this year we're a team that's going to be ranked #1, that's going to have to defend this championship, and sometimes having that support. They're visible at the game, being vocal. You know, those are the things that help you win a lot of those close ball games, and those are the ones you need to win to repeat as champions.
Coach, looking over that last year's team and the incoming team, why don't you give us some information in terms of some of the players that won't be with you this coming season and some of the players that will be there, and what has happened to, I think you mentioned earlier that you placed 2 young men in the NBA. Why don't you give us some information in reference to that so that we can sort of keep our eyes open for that?
Well, the players that won't be with us next year, of course, were our captains, Dwayne Wilson, who will be acting as a graduate assistant coach, and Michael Moore, who will also be involved with our program as he's finishing up his degree. Those 2 contributed a great deal. Michael started every game for us, got a lot of rebounds, played tremendous on the defensive end, and was a kind of a mainstay with the program. He was recruited by former coaches before I got here, but he was the only one that had been recruited by the former coaches that stuck it out, and I'm really proud of the fact that he made a great contribution to our program. The players that will be returning are all OVC Player of the Year. Carlos Rogers, a 6'11" center. He averaged 20 points and about 12 rebounds and almost 4 block shots a game. Another all-OVC performer, Monty Wilson, was a freshman of the year last year. He averaged in double figures in points and about 8 or 9 rebounds. He's just going to be a sophomore. We're looking for Monty to really pick up the slack and even become a better player. Timmy Horton last year was second team all-OVC. Started every game since he's been here at either the point guard or the second guard. A tremendous defender, one of the great workers that we have. He leads by example. Every day Timmy comes out there on the floor, whether it's practice or a game, he gives you 110%. Also, Curtis Davis made the all-tournament team last year up at Lexington, Kentucky. He's coming back for his sophomore year. But we weren't a team of individuals. We had a lot of people that contributed a great deal. You know, Neil Jones started some at the point guard. When our starting point guard, Greg Watkins, was out, both of those guys did a great job at the point guard position. They're both returning. We also feel that we'll get, you know, great support from people off the bench like John Ruffin and Royce Gurnell. Those people last year that played a tremendous role in what we would call a reserve duty. Those guys were outstanding out there for us last year. I can't say enough about them. Curtis Jenkins, who was injured most of the year, was kind of the inspirational team leader. He would always lead us in prayer. And he's back for his sophomore year, and hopefully he can stay healthy and try to, you know, pick up where he left off before he was injured. And we've added some newcomers to the team that I think will also be a big benefit to us. Locally, we got a young man by the name of Jeff Johnson from Aquinas Junior College. He's 6'8", 245 pounds. We also had played for us last year and did an outstanding job, who's also from Aquinas, Rico Beasley. He was injured most of the year, but down the stretch he became healthy again. He's one of the best purest shooters that we've had at TSU in a long time. Also, we got another newcomer, Chad Davis from out of Chattanooga, who could really be an asset to us because of his abilities. And a young man that's a great athlete by the name of Damon Page. Damon's done an outstanding job in our early practices, one of the top athletes in the area last year when he played at Gallatin High School. So these young men that we have on the team are going to contribute a great deal to the future success of the Tennessee State University basketball program.
So there's quite a bit of substance in terms of looking over your lineup and in terms of what you have, the young men that you have returning. There's quite a bit of substance in placing you in number 1 from that perspective.
Well, right. We have a lot of people returning, and I think that that when you look at the experience factor, a lot of times when they make these preseason polls, that's one of the big criteria. But as I've told the players on many occasions, last year we were picked last and we finished first. So, you know, the preseason prognostications aren't always